this lovely board game that I made myself. Do you ever read the books that are actually on your TBR? We're gonna start on Reshuffle. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Rochelle. I have a disability and I have a little bit of a problem when it comes to pretty books. And today what we're gonna do is do something new. It's a little bit delayed, but I'm very excited for it. And that is a TBR board game. This one I went and kind of made myself. I went and pulled from a few different concepts of the Monopoly board games that I've seen around, but I also wanted to kind of change it so it was nerdy and fit me a little bit more. And so it is called Defend the TBR. So with this one, the premise is basically I am on my way to my library, which you'll see here. And the big thing is, some of you might have wondered, okay, Rochelle, you buy so many books, you have so many book hauls that you do you ever read the books that are actually on your TBR? And the answer to that is, yes, I do. However, I thought I'd do a fun little spin on it where we actually go and read some of the books that are on the TBR using this lovely board game that I made myself. The goal is to go and get 100 points total, and those 100 points will be used to attack the monster that is trying to destroy my lovely TBR that we are building here. Thus, defend the TBR. And each one of these spots that are on the board are going to be worth a certain amount of points that will hopefully eventually reach 100. However, there are some places on the board that are going to take away some of the points that I've earned, and there's going to be a few other things intermixed within this board. So I'm very excited to go and play this with you and actually figure out what we're going to be reading for the rest of January, because we're already a few weeks in, so I'm a little bit behind. However, I have read a few books, but they won't be included on the points total that we will be getting for Defend the TBR. So with that being said, let's go and shift to look at the board and figure out what we are reading for the rest of the month. All right, so what you see here is the board game that I went and made called Defend the TBR, and I have a few different cards that are on this board. So some of these cards I actually got from Etsy, and so I'll include the person's shop as well as her YouTube channel in the information down below. I got these cards because I thought they would make it really fun to do a TBR, but then when I was looking at her board game rules, I was like, this doesn't really feel me, so I'm going to kind of do it in my own way. This deck of cards that's right here, these are going to be for Kindle books, so we're going to have them right here. And then these are going to be like the draw cards that we're going to use to look at the books on my TBR shelf and see what exactly we'll be reading. And then here is a little stack of cards that I made myself. And basically this symbol with the sword means that these are ability cards. And what will happen is if I land on short rest or long rest, I will get to pick some of the cards. So if I land on short rest, I'm going to draw 3 cards and pick 1 from the ability card deck. And then if I land on long rest, I'm going to pick out 3 cards and then keep 2 and get to use whatever the ability card says to help me with defending the TBR. And basically where we're going to start is we're going to start on Reshuffle, so the one with a star. And basically, of course, what will happen is if I land on Reshuffle, I'll have to reshuffle the decks of cards and redraw again. So I might get a card that I've already picked before. We don't know. And just to kind of go through some of the spots on the board, so there's Mood Read. This one here is a Kindle card. Move back a space, so that means moving back a spot. And then this one is drawing a card from this deck. Pet pick, so this one is a cat, so that will be one of our 3 cats that will get to pick the book that I'm reading. Lose points and roll dice, so as I went and mentioned, these spots that we land on, they're worth a certain amount of points, and I kind of have a little key over to the side that I haven't had time to transition. But I will go and look at this key, and for lose points, this one doesn't have a marker on it. I will go and roll a d20 to go and determine how many points are lost from the total amount that I have so far to attack the monster that we're trying to defend our TBR for. And then this one is roll again, so I will just re-roll these 2 dice that I have here. Partner pick, so this will be a pick that I asked Charles to go and see what I'm going to read. I'll probably select a selection of books for him to choose from just to make it a little bit easier. Then short rest, I already explained, that will be ability card. Mood read, that's kind of a free choice. another Kindle, roll even for free DNF. So if I roll even with a D20, that means I get a free DNF. So I don't get a penalty if there's a book that is on my TBR I'm not enjoying and I decide to DNF it. I won't lose points for it. Another draw card, book buying ban. So with this one, if I land in this spot, I will have to go and roll the dice to actually see how many days, weeks I will have to go without being able to buy any books. And if I don't follow that, there will be a penalty. Then a roll again, another pet pick. This one has a dog, so that's a nugget pick. Kindle read, move back a space, pet pick, Kindle poll pick. So if I land on this one, you'll see a poll maybe on my Instagram or here on YouTube, and you'll get to help me decide what to pick. Another mood read, long rest, so that's picking from the ability cards, pet pick, another draw a card from here, and then remove book from TBR and repick. So if I land on this one, let's say I have like 4 different books that are on my TBR. One of them I'm not exactly feeling, but was chosen because of this. I have the free choice to go and remove it and pick a different one, and then another Kindle read. So some of these you will see repeaters on it, but I felt like this was a good way to kind of space them out, disperse them, and see how this goes. This is my very first time doing a TBR game, so we might go and see that when I'm going through this, maybe there's some spots on the board that I'm not really enjoying. I might get to change them, or there might actually be something in the ability card deck that will help me go and change up the way the board is. But currently, this is kind of how it looks. So with that being said, I guess we'll go into it. And this is going to be our lovely little place marker. So this is a pin that I got from Friday Afternoon Tea, which I'm an affiliate with. And I felt like this would be a fun little pin to go and use as our place marker on the board. And because it has a dragon and the dragon sipping tea, I felt that was a perfect way to integrate my nerdy and cozy side. And let's roll the dice. Okay, so we got a 4 and a 5, so that's 9. And let's go and see. So we're probably gonna have to move. I think I'm gonna go this way. I didn't really predetermine any of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we got the first ability one. So that means drawing 3 cards from this deck and then picking one of them. So I have a blank one on top just because I need to double side these so I can't see what's behind them. So I'm just going to put that off here. And then 1, 2, 3. So I have a free DNF, free points plus 10, remove choice of card. I think I'm going to go with free DNF. So like I said with the abilities, I draw 3 and I pick 1. So we're going to go with free DNF, and I'm going to put it off to the side here. And then I'm going to put these cards down at the bottom. And if you have any ideas for more ability cards I can put in my deck, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and see what else we can add here. I think total I'm gonna do probably 4, not including the ability card, just so that we have at least 4 different books to read from. So let's try again. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a nugget pick. Okay, let me go and pick out some books and then I'll get nugget. Okay, so our first spot on the board that we went and drew is actually Pet Picks. The book that we're going to be reading is going to be Nugget. So what I'm going to do is pick 3 different books. The first book I picked is The Chaperone by M. Hendricks. It says in New America, girls are never alone. So I actually read a dystopian book recently, and it was so good, and I'm still kind of in the mood to read more dystopian books. So I feel like this one will be fun. It's pretty chunky as well, but I really wanted to add that to the list. And then I have Cressley Cole's Endless Night. It's the second book in the Arcana Chronicles. I really want to reread this series, and so because of that, I'm also adding this to the pile. And then I have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This was actually on my 10 before the end that I was not able to get to. And so because of that, I want to go and include this book and hopefully get to it for this TBR. So we shall see. I'm going to get the books all positioned on the floor and then rearrange you. All right, and then I'm going to put a couple of treats so that hopefully Nugget will kind of figure out like which book she wants me to read. All right, and then let me go and grab Nugget. Nuggie! Nuggie, what's over here? Oh, okay. She picked Endless Night by Cressley Cole. Can't really see her. Such a good girl. Good job, Nuggie. Okay, so we just got our nugget pick. So I'm gonna go and roll again. Like I said, we want to have at least 4 books on my TBR. 5, 6, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mood read. All right, so I think what I'm gonna pick, I think what I'll do is I'll pick One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So 2 more rolls. I'm rolling a lot of 5s, I'm noticing. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kindle books. All right, let me go and check on that one. I got my Kindle book picked out, so we're gonna do 1 more roll and then I'll go and do a review of all the books we're gonna be reading. Another 5. So 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Draw a card. All right. Read a book written by a new to you author. All right, let me check my bookshelves. And I got the last book picked. So let me change the cameras so we can do a review about the books that we're going to be reading. Okay, cards have been drawn and we have gone through the TBR board. So just to do a review of everything that we have picked. With our first roll, we got a free DNF, and this was one of the ability cards that I picked out of the pile and that I decided to land with. I feel like given that we only have a few more weeks left in January, this would be a great one to have. So I free DNF. This will not give me any penalty if I choose to DNF the book that I have picked out on the board. Then the next one that we landed on was Pet Pick, and so I brought lovely Nugget in to go and help pick a book, and the one she picked is the second book in the Arcana Chronicles. So this is Endless Night by Cressley Cole. I've been really wanting to reread this series and actually finish the series since I never finished the very last book, and so I'm excited to go and dive back into this one as well, and you shall hear my thoughts. So I didn't say what some of the spots landing on were worth. So with a Pet Pick, if I finish this, this will give me 5 points in defending the TBR. Then with the third roll that we landed on, I actually got Mood Read. And so for Mood Read, I decided to pick One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This was on my 10 before the end, and I really wanted to get to it, but unfortunately I just ran out of time before the end of the year. And so with my mood pick, this one is actually worth 2 points. So if I complete it, I get 2 points to go and attack the monster. Then the next roll, I actually landed on Kindle pick, and so I decided to go with Needy Little Things by Chanel Desamores. And this one is actually on my NetGalley. I really want to get my NetGalley percentage up to 100%. So with this one, I thought it would be great. This one actually comes out in February, so it's out February 4th. So what perfect time than now to go and read it. And then the very last one we landed on was Pick a Card, and so I got Read a Book written by a new to you author. And so for that one, I picked Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. This one I've been really wanting to read. I've heard so many good things, and the snow on the cover, we all know that I want to read a book that includes winter during a snowstorm here in Colorado, and I keep missing out. So let's see if January is the month that that will happen. But for Pick a Card, this one is actually worth 6 points. So if I finish it, this will be 6 points towards the monster that we're going to try to defeat. And if I finish these books, we shall see in the next episode what the monster looks like and how many points we actually get to attack it with. But I hope you enjoy this TBR board game that I created, and if you have any ideas for things that we could go and add for abilities to my board game, please let me know. But yeah, these are the books that we're going to be reading, including the one Kindle book. I'm so excited to see what happens and see how many points we end up going and attacking the monster with. If you like this board game and like the concept of it, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Maybe leave a like or possibly subscribe. And I'm so excited to see what happens next and what's going to happen in February for this board game. I love you all so much, and always remember that you're worthy and capable of amazing things. Bye.